Welcome to this introduction video for OtO. In this tutorial, we'll go over the basic features of OtO, starting from the very beginning. If you've never opened OtO before, the first thing you'll see is the registration window. Here, you need to enter the email address you used when signing up, along with the license number you received by email. Keep in mind that you need an internet connection for this initial registration, but after that, OtO works completely offline. Now let's take a look at the interface. OtO is divided into four main panels: the teleprompter editor, the mini editor, the rundown panel, and the marker panel. You can resize them easily by grabbing the small handles. At the center, you'll notice the cue indicator. This represents the eye's horizon line, but it's also used for action markers, which we'll cover in another video. Check the description for links. You can move the cue indicator anytime by clicking and dragging it. Let's start by enabling the external monitor. When using a teleprompter, you typically want two separate displays, one for your interface and one for the speaker. That's exactly what the teleprompter window is for. You can activate it by clicking this button. If you have a second screen, the teleprompter will appear in full screen mode there. Note that your display needs to be set to extended mode, as opposed to mirrored duplicated mode, whether you're on Mac or PC. Since I only have one screen right now, it opens in a separate window. You can switch between full screen and windowed mode at any time using the F11 shortcut. Now, notice this small line dividing the teleprompter editor. The top part represents what the speaker sees, while the bottom part is only visible to you. This lets you anticipate upcoming text while prompting. This division adjusts automatically depending on the window size and the aspect ratio of the external monitor, whether it's 16:9, 4:3, or something else. OtO also allows you to mirror and rotate the image on the external display to accommodate camera-mounted or staged teleprompters. You can adjust these settings directly, either from the upper toolbar or from the menu. Click this button to mirror the image, and this one to rotate the screen. Let's move on to text import, which is one of the most essential features of any teleprompter software. OtO allows you to import Word documents in docx format. You can do this by clicking the Import button here, going to File and selecting Import docx, or using the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+Shift+I. Now I'll select these two documents and open them. They appear in the rundown panel, which, as you can see, serves as a document list. Each entry displays the document name, its status, with a red dot indicating it's currently displayed, the individual progress of each document, and the total reading progress across all documents. You'll also find the estimated reading time for each document. Clicking the small clock icon toggles between estimated reading time, word count, and cumulative stats. The target icon allows you to quickly switch between documents, and you'll notice the red status dot updates as I change selections. There's also a menu for each document, offering options like deleting, re-exporting, or splitting it at the cursor position. So if I use Split at Cursor, you'll see that I now have a new document created from the Cut section. Additionally, there's a global menu for managing documents. You can add new ones and apply bulk actions by selecting multiple documents using these checkboxes. You can even select all at once with the topmost checkbox. The mini editor allows you to read and edit text without affecting the teleprompter display. This is useful if you need to make changes while someone is reading. Otherwise, scrolling in the main teleprompter panel would disrupt the speaker. With the mini editor, you can work independently without causing interruptions. You can also synchronize scrolling between the editors by clicking this button, which is handy during live prompting or rehearsals. If you need to locate a passage, just highlight it and click Jump to find it instantly in either panel. Now let's take a look at text formatting. The options here are simple and similar to a standard word processor. To make text bold, click this button or use the shortcut Ctrl+B. Italics work the same way with Ctrl+I. For colors, you have a palette here, and the first 5 colors can be applied using shortcuts from Ctrl+Alt+1 to Ctrl+Alt+5. White is Ctrl+Alt+0, You can also highlight text by selecting a color and clicking Highlight. If you ever need to reset all formatting, just click this button to return everything to plain text. A quick tip: pressing Ctrl+A once selects the current paragraph, while pressing it twice selects the entire document. Font settings are here, with one key difference from other teleprompter and productivity apps. By default, changing the font applies to the entire document, since that's the most common use case for teleprompting. However, you can adjust this behavior in the drop-down menu and choose to apply changes only to the current document, selected documents, or all documents. The same applies to font size, which can also be changed for selected text only if needed. Markers act like bookmarks. Unlike other teleprompter software, OtO requires you to select 1 to 3 words first, then click Toggle Marker or press Ctrl+M. The marker appears in the list, and I'll add another one here. Clicking on a marker name lets you rename it without changing the marked text itself. For example, if I know that's where John enters the stage, I can rename it John Entrance to remind myself. You can navigate between markers using the target icon, these arrows, or with the shortcuts Ctrl+Page down and Ctrl+Page up. By default, markers are invisible on the external teleprompter window. However, if I right-click a marker and select Toggle Marker, it changes color and becomes visible to the speaker. Useful for emphasizing words during a speech. This behavior can be adjusted in the settings under the Markers section. Now, let's move on to teleprompting mode. This mode is crucial because it lets you fine-tune the scrolling speed to match the speaker's pace, ensuring smooth delivery. You can enter prompting mode by clicking this red button or using the shortcut Ctrl+P. The interface changes slightly, and you'll see prompting mode displayed prominently. If you don't have a dedicated controller, you can adjust scrolling speed using this slider. The keyboard shortcuts Ctrl+Up and Ctrl+Down allow you to speed up or slow down the scroll. Holding Ctrl while pressing the keys repeatedly increases or decreases speed gradually, even reversing direction if needed. That said, for a much better experience, I highly recommend configuring a hardware controller. OtO supports devices like Contour Design, Shuttle, Xpress, and Shuttle Pro. To set them up, go to Settings by clicking the gear icon, then select the Controllers tab. Here, you can remap keyboard shortcuts, and in this tab, you can configure the Shuttle. In this example, it's already set up, but make sure to enable it and save your settings. Once that's done, restarting prompting mode makes the experience much smoother and more precise. In an upcoming video, we'll dive into setting up more advanced controllers like the Loupedeck CT and MIDI devices, and how to integrate them into your workflow. That's it. Now you have everything you need to get started with OtO. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay updated with future tutorials. Thanks for watching.